the Just In Case podcast with your hosts, Mike and Mike, driven by passion, defined by quality.
Welcome, everyone. This is Season 1, Episode 1 of the Just In Case podcast, brought to you by JIC Appliance Care. I am one of your hosts. My name is Mike, and this is the other Mike.
How you doing, everyone?
And we're excited to be here. This has been something that we've been discussing for a long time, and it's finally coming to fruition. And it's great. I can't wait. We want to do a couple thank yous right out of the gate. First and foremost, the whole entire JIC team. They've been so supportive throughout everything. Getting our business fully operational and now adding this piece is exciting, but it's been a lot of work. So thank you to the whole team. I know we're excited to take this next step in our business. I want to also do a quick thank you to Big Frog Apparel in Selden. They provide us with all of our merch. They're great, and none of this would be happening without Dustin at Flashes by DC. So we're going to give him a quick shout out too. So thank you for all that. You know, Mike, I think basically what we're going to be doing in this podcast, I think, is really going to be just discussing the ins and outs of the appliance industry, some of the things that are just frowned upon, some of the complaints that we're hearing from customers. You know, I think it's important to really shine light on some of that stuff nowadays. I mean, when you think about it, the amount of product that's out there is like,
it's a lot.
It's a lot of product. So, you know, we want to talk about how we capture some of our customers, maybe help some other guys in the industry try to capture some of their customers. And we're just excited to add this new piece to the business. We have some guests that we want to bring on in the near future. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a huge, just, I guess you could say, addition to our podcast. So I'm looking forward to it. You know, our mission really here, I think, going forward is going to be to shine light on things that people don't know about the industry.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be important to shows people what's setting us apart from the rest. Yeah. And maybe we can make some new friends and you know, along the way.
100%.
So, you know, we have some great partnerships too in and outside of the whole appliance realm that has helped us to grow to where we are. And I think it's nice to kind of bring everyone together at the same table. We were just talking about this earlier today.
Yeah.
You know, basically in this industry, it's like very cutthroat, and I don't know why.
No, I know.
I want to help people out. I want people to help me out. I think that's just kind of where we are as people, you know, and I'm looking forward to all those things. So I guess we'll talk a little bit about who we are and where we started. We'll start off with Mike. Mike has been in this industry for probably 20 years.
Yeah, I've been doing it a long time.
He'll give you the rundown of his experience and how it started.
Let's see, I've been doing it for about 20 years. I started off at a small mom and pop's appliance company when I didn't know anything. They taught me, and I was there for about a year. I became their, I guess, lead tech there. I ended up leaving there, went to Sears, and I worked there for about 4 years maybe. And then I was their lead mentor there. Then after that, I went to another appliance company, and I was their lead tech for about 8 years and decided to start a business with Mike.
And here we are.
Yes.
So just so everyone knows, too, we're a Long Island-based company. We have an office in Holbrook with a warehouse piece. And we've been in this location for a little less than a year. But, you know, we have dreams in the future. We don't want to only be in Long Island. Maybe we'll be somewhere else. I don't know how far down the road that's going to be. But we want to focus on this market. We want to capture this market and get it all really honed in the way we need to. My name is Mike. I have quite a interesting background, I guess you could say. So in my teen years, I worked for a family friend who did appliance installation for Sears. And I was doing that for, you know, whenever I was out of school or whatever it may be. Then later on became a New York City police officer. I was a police officer for 8 years. After that, I got into the security sector. And from the security sector, I then transitioned into appliance repair. Kind of crazy how that happened, but here we are. So Mike actually is the one who got me involved in appliance repair.
Yep.
He's I have all the utmost respect for Mike. He's my mentor in this industry. He's taught me everything I know about appliances, hands down.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hands down, it's taught me everything I know. And I tell everyone that. There's no shame in my game. I'm learning every day. I'm still learning.
Yeah, me too.
So
Every day.
I've been doing this, I think, now for 4 years in total, appliance repair. We've owned our own business for 2 years, but we have been fully on our own and doing this as sole proprietors for about a year.
Yep. And it's been the best decision.
Best decision of our lives. We talk about this frequently. And for listeners, if you're thinking about doing it, do it.
Yes.
It's scary, but get it done. It's exciting. It's new. It's nerve-wracking. It's all the things you imagine it to be, but it's worth it. I promise you that. So, that's who we are.
Yep.
So we have JIC Appliance Care. That's our business. And we have just launched a Just in Case podcast, which is where we are
There we
right
are.
now.
Right
So
there.
it's exciting. Very exciting to be here. So basically, maybe, Mike, we can talk about our everyday education to customers that we do just in homes. Let's give a general overview of what we do in the home, from before we get there to while we're there and when we leave. I mean, there's so many pieces of that that we have built on, and the feedback has been amazing with our customers. So if you don't mind, maybe you can chime in. Let's talk about maybe like how we do text ahead alerts when we're on the way. Let's talk about when we're in the home.
Yeah, we get the text
if you can bring
ahead.
some light to some of that stuff, I think it would be great.
Customers like that when we're on our way, they will get a text message letting them know we're on our way. And it also gives them a picture and a little info about us or who's coming to their house. Then when we're at the house, we definitely like to go over as much as we know with customers, educate him on the appliance, what's the best thing to do, cleaning-wise, maintenance definitely. And then we always like to make sure that we do a great job. So usually I'd say the day after or a couple days after, we'll have our office do a follow-up call and then see how everything's working, maybe send them a review, that kind of stuff. We like to stay in touch, and communication is key.
Yeah, for sure. So just to give a little bit of our office background here, we have an office manager, we have a customer service liaison, and a customer service representative, all which have very similar but different roles. So our office manager is more about organizing the day-to-day operations of the business. We have a CSR who really is the one who takes the incoming phone calls, schedules the calls, finds out the situation, the issues with each appliance. That's her role. Our customer service liaison, I think, is unique to our business, where we've invested in that position specifically, was really to bridge the gap between manufacturers and us and the homeowner. Right. So what we want to do is we want to create a seamless, from start to finish, we want a seamless process for our customers. If that means that we have to make a couple extra phone calls, well, our customer service liaison is going to do that. We also have a pretty big Rolodex of house management businesses or companies and estate managers that we deal with on the East End. And what our customer service liaison does with them is she makes it very easy to get in touch with her, as simple as a text message. The reason why, these people are busy. They're managing estates. They're managing 5 multi-million-dollar homes. They don't have the time. They just don't have the time. So what we do is, we
try to make it easy.
We try to make it easy, and we're kind of doing that on our dime. But it's an important investment that we've made, and it's paid off exponentially.
Yes.
The feedback that we get from them is like, they like doing business with us because we get it done right the first time, and that's because we're going out there with the information we need. Exactly. And that's all thanks to the team, the back office team. So, that's kind of something that's important to us. And we've honed in on this.
You need your back end office, man. Without them, we'd be nothing, and without us, they'd be nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
We all have to work together.
Exactly. I mean, so many times we've heard, different people in the industry say that, the business is nothing without techs. Well, I don't always agree with that. I think that we're nothing without the techs and the office team working together, right? Because the end result is to have customers that are happy and complete jobs. That's what we want to do. And if we don't have those two things working in unison, it's never going to happen.
No.
And we've seen this, we've seen it happen in other businesses. We've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
it, just not work out really.
No.
So, I think,
I mean, how many times customers tell me the office that they speak to, they're so nasty.
yeah, I mean,
They hang up the phone, and how when I go there, they're like, oh, I have to tell you, Samantha, Anthony, Amanda, Chrissy, they're amazing. They're great to talk to.
Yeah, it's great.
That's what we want.
That's what we want. Yeah. So when we're asking customers for reviews, it's not only about the service that received in the home. I mean,
No,
we're
it's
asking customers
everything.
for reviews for start to finish of
Yep.
our business and everything that we've done, to interact with that customer. I want to know how we did.
Yeah.
And luckily we have
what we could do to
a lot
fix
of
it.
5-star reviews, and
Yep.
that's why, and that's exactly why. And if we have a hiccup with a customer, which is going to happen in this industry, it's a
Yeah.
customer service based industry. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what we want to do, and even on the podcast, I think, is maybe help some other companies learn, like, what have we done to kind of
Yep.
rectify those situations, because they've been
yeah.
problems. I
There's a
mean,
lot.
everyone has those problems. So I think it's a big piece of who we are. We're not that gimmicky company. We might say we treat everyone like family, but that's really what our goal is to
Yeah.
do. Like, in our heart of hearts, that's what we want to do. And I feel like taking this podcast to the level that we want to take it is, I want to bring other servicers and treat them like family. Like,
Yeah,
why,
we all need to work together.
we
at
need
the
to
end
work
of the day.
together. I mean, it's bad
It's
to
so
have a bad
divided.
reputation. Like, we don't
Yeah.
want the reputation of being a servicer who doesn't show up on time and all that stuff.
Or
But
bad mouths other services.
yeah, like,
We
that's
all
such
need to work together.
I feel like that's such a bad thing to do.
Yeah.
I honestly say something that's been instilled in me, especially even by you,
Mm-hmm.
is don't talk bad about these other companies. Let them prove themselves,
Yeah.
right? Like, we shouldn't have to tell a customer, like, hey, stay away from them. They're no
Yeah,
good.
No. And you shouldn't badmouth manufacturers either, because
No.
it doesn't look good as an appliance technician.
Absolutely.
Or a company in general.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we see that
Yeah.
all the time. And listen,
Stories.
there's products out there. We don't need to mention names. People are going to know what products are good and what products aren't good. It's just,
yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
We don't have control of that. I always tell people, listen, all due
Keeps
respect.
us in business.
Yeah, right. We're in the business of fixing things. That's what we tell people. We're in the
Yeah.
business of fixing things. So, I don't like that idea of bad mouthing people and customer. Manufacturers. It's not good. It's not good
There's
business.
so much out there to learn every day.
Yep.
If we work together, you got another company that goes to something. If we all communicated and needed help with something, they could reach out to us. We could reach out to them. That's how it should be.
Exactly.
And it's not, and it's said.
Yeah. I mean, even like I always think about, like, you have a manufacturer servicer that goes out there. They have all these notes of what they did for the past 2 years, and then we get there 3 years later. It's out of warranty. We show up. We don't know what's been done to this thing.
No.
We have no idea what's been done. And then, like, the customer's like, well, I don't have the notes, or I can't get the notes. And
Yeah.
I just think that's a horrible thing. Like, it would help us figure out what's been, what has gone wrong with this unit in the past. Has it been rebuilt?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It's
What's
important
been
stuff.
replaced, what's been fixed.
Right.
Well,
Like-
we got to start from scratch, but we have to also backpedal because
Right.
we don't know what they did.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's I wish we could fix that. Maybe we will one day.
One day.
I don't know. This is part of the
This is
reason why we're
beginning.
here. Yeah.
Yep.
So so I think the topics that we're going to speak of during this podcast are going to be all over the map, all over the
Yeah.
grid, everything appliance related, from service to office to maybe even manufacturers to distribution,
Install everything.
And we have a pretty good portfolio of people we've worked with over the years, and my goal is to get them on. We want to get them on here and talk about some of the things that they're seeing or some of the things that they don't like. So that's a little bit about us and our background of what we're doing here. And it's important that we engage our listeners. So we're hoping to build a big following. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. That's huge for us, right? Because we want to grow. We want to get bigger, and we want to help people all over the country. It's not just New York. We're a New York-based company, and let me tell you, it's very difficult to do business here. But we figured out some tips and tricks, I think, that are going to help some guys,
Oh, yeah. 100%.
just make things happen.
Yeah.
So,
There's a lot of tricks.
yeah, social media in this day and age, it's
TikTok, forget about it. The amount of
yeah.
stuff I learned off of TikTok,
yeah, TikTok's taught me a lot too, actually.
it's for real, man.
We've not teamed up, but we've contacted, some techs
multiple.
across the country about some stuff that they've seen. And
I'm like, wow, I wish I know that.
exactly. And most of them are very responsive, I got to say.
No, they're
I don't
good.
know if it's a New York issue where like we can't get people to like give positive engagement.
It's
'cause
probably a New York thing.
It's probably a New York thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's probably a
is.
Long Island, New York thing for sure. But I mean, we reach out to a guy, I think in Chicago. There's a guy in Tennessee we've talked
Yeah.
to. I mean, they're all over the place, and they're always like very forthcoming with information to us. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
always
listen,
willing to help.
hey, this is a bulletin on this unit. Check it out. And like,
And they get back to you right away.
yeah, they get back to you. Yeah,
You're not sitting there like, oh man, they want to help.
yeah, which we want to do too.
Yeah,
So
we wanna get to
reach
that
out
point
to us.
too,
Maybe
yeah.
we have some information for you we can help you with. I try to, share stuff with people when I even customers. I tell them things.
Yeah.
They're like, no way, I can't believe that. But it's
Yeah.
some of the stuff we tell.
No one
them-
ever told me that. Even when they installed it, I
Exactly.
never knew it.
Yeah.
I had a filter.
Yeah, exactly. So engagement's huge. Please engage with us. And we encourage you to listen and rate us and review us and reach out to us and all that good stuff. So we're actually in our office right now. We've built a studio here.
Yeah.
And it was
What were we here,
interesting.
a year, 2 years now?
No, here?
How long have you
Less
been in
than a
the
year.
office? Less than a year.
Less than
Wow.
a year. We've been here less than a year.
Time goes by fast.
Yeah, it flew by. But, we had to do some research. It wasn't easy to set this up. I knew nothing about podcasts. I've done a lot of research. I've played around with audio. I've played around with video. And we've gotten some great guidance from people. And like I said, Dustin from Flash It by DC helped us out with a lot of this stuff, setting this all up and getting it figured out.
I
So-
would have never done this by myself, just a heads up.
Yeah.
Thank God for him right there. No clue.
Yeah, I had no clue either, but I have figured it out.
Yeah.
We
So
figured
you got to
it out.
do.
We managed
We
to
figured
do
out
it.
how to run a business.
Yeah. Sometimes
Successful.
you got to just jump into stuff and figure it
Yeah,
out.
I know.
You know,
Got to take the chance.
when we first branched out into doing this, there were a couple of people who were rooting for us, but you could tell they weren't really rooting for us.
Yeah.
They were skeptics.
Yeah.
Skeptics.
There's
But
a
you
lot
know
of
what?
those.
But you know what? I thank them
Yeah.
because
They
without
pushed
them,
us. Yeah.
we wouldn't be here.
No.
We wouldn't be here. So thank you, and you know who you are.
Yeah,
Everyone that's out
exactly.
there,
They're chewing popcorn on the sidelines.
they're probably eating popcorn on the
Yeah,
sidelines. I
you
think.
know.
So that's okay. And thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for everything you've done for us, and thank you
We
for.
wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for you.
That's right, and putting
So.
the fire under our
Yep.
behinds. So yeah, that's
That's the gist of it.
that's just the gist of who we are, where we are. I will tell you, Long Island in general is a big market for appliances, and it is a difficult market to capture.
Yes. It's not easy.
It's not easy. We have a lot of fly-by-night operations that go on in
Yeah.
Long Island. They're not licensed. They're not insured. They show up. They take cash deposits from people, never show back up again.
Never come back.
I mean, we've been hearing about these stories so much to the point of we decided that we're going to make a podcast to kind of air this
A
out.
lot more lately the past week.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, this week alone. I mean, that's going to be its own episode. I
Yeah.
think one day we're going to just talk about the stories that we have.
A lot of stories.
A lot of stories. So, yeah, I mean, so getting back to the market here, the market is rough, right? We have Long Island, which we have an East End, which goes all the way out to Montauk. And what I always try to explain to manufacturers and stuff like that is I try to tell them, like, listen, we're not your average area. If you're going out to the Hamptons, which is an affluent area, you are going on one road in and one road out.
Yeah, that's
And we have something here called the Trade Parade.
it. Yeah.
And the Trade Parade takes place from, I would say, March to September. And that means every morning, the Trade Parade, which is just every trade under the sun, is taking one road out to the Hamptons.
Yep. And they all want to leave at the same time.
And they all want to leave at the same time. So what do? We have to leave sometimes 2.5 hours before our first call to get
Yep.
there. But we pride ourselves on being on time. Obviously, hiccups happen.
Yep.
But, if we say we're going to be there between 9 and 10, we're going to be there between 9 and 10. So if that means
Yeah.
we have to leave at 6 a.m., then that's what we do.
Yep.
So the market's interesting here. You can go out there and it takes you a long time to get out there. So you have to take that into consideration when you're pricing out jobs or when you have a trip rate. I'd love to hear from people. How do you charge? I'd like to know that. I mean, I'll tell you how we charge. We have a trip fee, depending on the area, and that is a fee that does or does not include some labor, depending on where it is, because that eats up some of the bottom line for us.
Yeah.
So we've invested almost every dollar that we made for the past year, I'd say, right back into this business. And that's why I feel like we are where we are and we have the reputation that we have, is because we don't skimp out and we don't hold back.
No.
So, in terms of trip rates, like I said, reach out to us. I'm curious to see, how do you guys do it? I mean, we hear stories about guys that are charging like $75 to show up at someone's house. Listen,
I don't know how that's
on Long Island, I don't know how you're paying for insurance for vehicles, how you're paying for liability and workman's comp, and how you're paying any overhead for space, how you're buying for $75. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
It's impossible.
It's not possible.
Not
We've
on
done
Long
the
Island.
math. We've done the math.
Maybe Florida, but not on Long Island.
Yeah, we've tried to figure this out, and I can't. Maybe if anyone has an idea of how that happens, reach out to us. Let us know, please. We'd love to know.
I'd love to know.
I'd love to know. Our primary area that we target here on Long Island, New York, is Suffolk County, which is a pretty big county. I think it's one of the biggest in the state, actually.
Yeah.
And we have clients from the furthest point west to the furthest point east. I mean, we have clients everywhere. We have customers that call us and will only call us. We've built great reputations, and relationships with some of the dealers. And they know who they are, and I'm hoping to get them on here one day. That would be really cool if we can get them on here. That's a different side of the industry that technicians don't talk about enough.
No.
And I don't think they talk about enough either, but, we're trying to interject ourselves with.
Yeah, where we all work together.
Where we work together. Listen, the bottom line is we want to get customers taken care of. We want them to know they're in good hands.
Yep.
We want them to feel like family. And like I said, we mean that when we say it. I think everyone here, even our employees, could attest to the fact that we're one big family here.
Yeah.
There's no screaming in here. There's no drama. There's all,
very relaxed.
All get together and we want to figure out how to solve problems.
Yep. And we want everyone to enjoy coming here, going to work.
Yeah.
There's no stress.
Exactly.
Well, there's stress sometimes, but
we
want everyone to be happy.
Right. I mean, during our busy times, I would say
summer is stressful.
Summer's stressful. We're working a lot. We're working 12, 13 hours.
Yeah.
We are the only two technicians in this business.
Yes.
With room to grow. We have interviewed some people before. It's not that they weren't necessarily a good fit. I just think maybe we weren't ready for them right now or whenever we interviewed them.
And we also have high expectations.
Yeah, very high. So. Yeah, very high expectations, which is not a bad thing. I don't think. I think that's definitely a good thing. So, we want to talk about, I think futuristically, we want to bring up a lot of the truck stock scenarios, like why are guys not carrying stock in their trucks? It makes your job easier. It makes the customer happy right out of the gate.
Yep.
You go there, you have the part, you get it done, you're capturing that customer.
I know I don't like taking things apart twice.
Yeah,
for nothing.
For sure. I definitely don't. I don't like taking it apart once.
I know.
So, yeah, I think those are bits and pieces that we want to start discussing, and we want you to tune in and chime in and let us know how you handle stuff. We're always looking to get with the latest and greatest in the industry. So if that means, buying air sleds for we both have air sleds on each of our trucks. That's an expensive investment, but it's such a great investment.
It works great.
Number one.
And what's the other thing you just got for your truck with the?
We got an air sled dolly.
Yeah, that thing. That thing works good.
It's basically.
It's heavy, but it works good.
It's heavy. Yeah, it's like a hydraulic lift. That we can use to take out double wall ovens, that we can even set up a platform on it to take out microwaves, and it's all remote control. So you just hit a remote, raises it, lowers it, makes our job so much easier, and it's on caster wheels, which don't damage the floor.
Yeah.
So that's
another thing.
Yeah.
We see a lot of people now. No floor protection, no
Yeah,
it's expensive to fix a floor.
Yeah, we don't.
You got to repair the whole thing.
We don't ever want a customer to call us and be like, "Hey, you guys damaged my floor."
Yeah, no.
That's not something I'm not gonna be able to sleep at night knowing that we did that. So we take pictures before and after.
Yep.
During, we take videos sometimes, especially now with social media. I feel like you have to document everything you do just
yeah.
because it's good content for your business. So
Exactly.
get involved in that. If you're not involved in that, get involved in it.
Yeah, it's very good.
Baby steps. All you need is a cell phone to start out.
Yep.
Our setup
I
here,
use my cell phone every day.
our setup here is a little more intricate now, doing a podcast. But all you really need, I mean, even this. I mean, Dustin told us. He said, "Listen, all you really need is your cell phone."
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't content with that, but so I had to just buy more things.
Yeah.
But we do when we
The
do
best
it.
of the best.
When we do it, we do it right. We say that every time. We
Yep.
don't cut corners with that.
No.
We're going to do it to the best of
And
our
we
ability.
said that from the beginning.
100%.
If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right.
Yeah, there's
With
no
trucks, with office, with everything.
So I couldn't even, I think just on a caveat, I think we've had 6 trucks since we started this business.
we have.
We've had 6 trucks. Now we're down to 3. So we've sold a couple of used ones, some older ones. Now we have 2 brand new vehicles.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that one episode too. Just trucks. I think we should do a
Yeah.
whole episode just on your
Just on
trucks.
trucks.
Because without a truck, you don't make money.
No.
If your truck is down, you can't get to customers'
lose a
homes.
lot
You're
of money
losing
a
money.
day.
Take care of your trucks. We're going to talk about that. That's going to be a whole other episode.
Cleansing it, it's all that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I also want to talk about branding. I'm huge into branding. We have done 0 advertisement,
Man.
not 1 ounce of actual paid advertisement. And we have a customer base of over 1,400 people, which I think is impressive in the time that
It's
we've done
crazy.
it. That's 700 plus since we've been in business. And we've only been doing this as sole proprietors for a year. So,
A year.
It's
crazy, man.
I think that's a lot.
Whoever would have thought.
Yeah, definitely not me.
No.
But so branding. So we brand everything.
Yep.
I brand everything we have. I brand. I have coasters. I have books. I have sweatshirts. I have T-shirts. I have coffee mugs. I have pens. I have
Stickers,
everything.
calendars.
We brand everything.
Everything's JIC everywhere.
And you know why? It's because we actually give that away to people.
Yep.
We want them to remember us. We're in the process of partnering up with a local magazine, and the person who runs it, I guess you could say, came up with a fantastic idea. I think me and Mike talked about this in depth, and I wish more people did it.
I know.
Basically, what she does is she gets 15 gift baskets, and she goes to every vendor that she does business with and says, "Give me 15 of whatever item. Give me 15 cups. Give me 15 sweatshirts. Give me 15." And she puts them all in these baskets and has them professionally wrapped, and then she gives them to realtors. And when the realtors close on a house,
Boom.
they give this basket. And
Yep.
it has your plumber.
All your connections.
It has your HVAC guy. It has your appliance guy. It has everyone you could possibly need to fix your home.
Yep.
And it costs the homeowner nothing.
No.
And it costs us pennies on the dollar to just get our
Just to
name
get out
into the
there.
house.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to
put
be pretty
yourself
cool.
in the customer's perspective, buying a house and you have all that set ready to go already. Instead of looking through it, so, well, if you need anything done, here's names of everyone that does it.
Exactly. I wish I had that when I bought my house.
I know.
Because I went through 3 different contractors, 4 different plumbers,
Yep.
5 different HVAC guys, because everyone's like, "Oh, I'm going to come," then they never show up, or their
No.
prices are astronomical, or so it's stuff like that that I think is cool, and more people should be doing all over the place. That's the first time I've ever heard of anyone even doing that.
Nah.
And they hold social events and stuff too. It's pretty cool. So that's some of the stuff that we want to bring to light and help people. Maybe you have this where you are. I know this particular magazine is nationwide. We'll get into that another day. I'll give you all the details. But that particular magazine, you pay, basically you pay into it for advertising, which would be our first time ever
Yep.
we've paid into any advertisement. First time ever. So you pay into advertising, and that pays for the magazine to be printed and then sent out to customers in a specific area. And then the customer's not paying for that magazine. They're getting it for free because all the contributors to the magazine are basically covering the cost of that. And then now you're in people's homes
Yep, exactly.
for whatever the nominal fee is per month.
Yeah. You don't consider thumbtack advertising, do you?
No.
That's where we
yeah,
started
Thumbtack-
off.
Yeah, so Thumbtack I don't think is
We were just doing that to get our name out there. and
Thumbtack's not
customers.
advertising. Thumbtack was more or less. I almost consider it like
Angie's
like
List
an
kinda
Angie's
thing?
kind of thing. Yeah, it's kind of like an Angie's kind of thing, but it's a little different because you're not really. I guess you're paying. You're paying per lead. We did pay per lead.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, We did pay per lead. But anyway, that's how we got our name out there. That's how we started. That's exactly how we
still
started.
have customers to this day from Thumbtack.
Yeah, we have people that call us 2 years later, from Thumbtack. But yeah, so there's so many different things out there. You could do Yelp, you could do Thumbtack.
Yeah.
We just started getting into some of that stuff. I don't consider it really advertising per se. I guess it is in a small sense. It is advertising, but you have to look for it. It's not like it's going to find you.
No, you
have to look for it. I feel like a lot of the advertising that people see, or it's popping up on your page, just like, hey, call JIC Appliance Care if you need your like. We've never done that.
No,
we do a lot of
all
word.
of it works word of mouth, man.
Word of mouth, tons of word of mouth. Yeah, so
we get calls that we're like, how'd they get our number?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, we listen. We
won the other day from what was it, Stony Brook?
I don't remember, but I believe
it was. Yeah, I mean, yeah. The calls that come to our office, man, I'm just like, wow.
Yeah,
we sit back and think.
We have some celebrities that we do.
Yeah.
We won't mention their names.
No.
And they probably don't even know who we are, but we know who they are. And we treat. I always tell people too. We treat everyone's home the same.
Yeah.
We're using floor protection in every home. It doesn't matter where you live. Doesn't matter the kind of home you're in. We want to treat your home with dignity and respect.
Yeah.
Because that's your humble abode. And if someone came in my house and disrespected me, I wouldn't be too happy.
No.
So I want to be there. I want to get the job done, and I want to do it in a professional way. So, that's I guess you could say that's a little bit of who we are.
In a nutshell.
Yeah, that's who we are. That's what we want to do. And we're looking forward to it. I mean,
it's exciting.
It's exciting.
A new venture.
I never thought we'd be doing this.
No, I never did either. We've talked about it.
We've talked about it, but I never
it.
actually thought it was coming to fruition like it did right now.
Yep.
So I'm excited. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Yes.
Please feel free to reach out to us with any questions whatsoever. We're excited to have all of you. We're excited to have partnerships. We're excited to have guests. It's going to be great. We're looking forward to it. This is our slow season. We're starting this in our slow season. So we don't have an actual time frame yet to episodes and how we're going to do that. But I promise you there's plenty more coming where this came from.
Yes, there will
There's
be.
so much to talk about. There's
a
so
lot
much to talk about. So
every day there's more.
Thank you all. And we'll see you on the next one.
See you later.
Thank you for watching the Just In Case podcast. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button.